Welcome to Football with Cheese. So day 2 is over. We still have rounds 4 through 7. Good morning, everyone. So I was going to do a day 2 recap, but looking at my notes, it would be a 35 to 45 minute video. I have a lot to say. It was a crazy night. Some teams I don't think they know what the draft is about. I don't think they know what it means because they're not getting any better. I will go over those in a later video. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video right after this one going over the best players available, why I think they're still on the board. Some of them I just do not understand. And I will do a recap of every division. Yes, it'll be 8 videos throughout the week. I'll start on Sunday and hopefully get done by Thursday or Friday. So we'll break down division by division. We'll go over all their picks because it's just going to take too long because there were some crazy things that happened last night. And there are some really good prospects still on the board. And I just don't understand, but that's the next video. This video is about Shedeur Sanders. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed if you have not. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. So we're going to talk about 2 things. Why Shedeur Sanders is available and why I think you should not draft him at all. And nothing against him personally. Let's get into it. Shedeur Sanders did not go in the first round. The main reason, in my opinion, is because he does not have a high ceiling as an elite quarterback. 19 of the last 20 years, if you look at who won the Super Bowl, who the quarterback was, it's been either a Hall of Fame quarterback or a very good quarterback. One of the top 7 or 8 in the game. So you have to have at least a top 10 quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Once every 20 years, you might get lucky. And Shedeur Sanders does not have that ceiling. He doesn't have a big arm. He's going to struggle on those 25, 30, 35-yard deep outs down the field. His deep ball has a lot of air under it. He just cannot make every throw. He needs to be in an offense that's a lot of talent around him. Shedeur has a lot of good qualities. He's accurate from the pocket. He can make all the reads. He hardly ever turns the ball over. But I just described a game manager. I didn't describe Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes because he's never going to be that person. So even though I think he's a high floor player, I think he can be an above average quarterback. He doesn't have the ceiling. So that's why he didn't go in the first round. Why was he not drafted on day 2? So it's part to do with the interviews, I think, and part to do with his last name. So the interviews. Multiple sources said he interviewed terribly, and the word entitled was used multiple times. And you're the quarterback. You are the leader of the team. You cannot act entitled. Johnny Manziel acted entitled. He did not last long in the league. But your quarterback has to be humble. He has to be a leader. He has to be respected in the locker room. And in a 15-minute interview, does not go well. At the combine, knowing you're going to be interviewed, when you should have prepared for it, then how is he going to handle being your quarterback for the next decade? Especially in a city like New York. Of course the Jets and Giants didn't draft him. Of course. And the second thing is being Deion Sanders' son, all that comes with it. Teams are worried there's going to be cameras everywhere. It's going to be a reality show. And teams just don't want that distraction. They don't want the spectacle. If he had an elite arm, if he had that ceiling like Cam Ward's ceiling, yeah, he would have been drafted by now. Sure, but he doesn't. So that combination is why he's still on the board. So now we hit day 3. Anyone could draft him. Any team. Because you're not drafting for a starting quarterback. You're drafting for a backup. And this is why I would not draft him at all. Because I don't want a backup that will cause a distraction. And he will be a distraction. So let me give you an example. The Seahawks took Jalen Milroe in the 3rd round. I love that pick. He can sit behind Sam Darnold for a few years. Learn from him. Maybe he's the starter in year 3. Okay? If they had drafted Shedeur Sanders and Sam Darnold struggles in like week 7 or 8, has 2 bad games in a row, the fans are going to be pushing for Shedeur. It's going to be a huge distraction. Seattle's trying to make the playoffs, and it's just a disaster because fans are going to want him to play. They're going to think they got the biggest steal in the entire draft because Mel Kiper is sitting there whining like a little baby telling everyone that he should have gone in the top 10, the Saints should have taken him at 9, that he's one of the best players in this draft. It's absolutely ridiculous. I love Mel, but that was the worst I've ever seen him. This is the worst draft he's ever done. Maybe he just needs to retire. He whined like a baby. I like Mad Mel when he attacks teams for making dumb picks, and he's good at doing that. But this wasn't Mad Mel. This wasn't fun Mad Mel. This was whiny little bitch Mel Kiper. He was a whiny baby just going off last night about how horrible and disgusting it is that they're not drafting him, and just ripping these teams. They don't have to draft him. It's going to be a distraction. So Mel Kiper whining like a little baby isn't going to make them want to draft Shedeur Sanders. If anything, that makes me want to draft him less. Maybe Mel has a relationship with him. He's probably known Dion his whole career. Maybe he's known Shedeur since he was a kid. I don't know. If that's the case, then he should not even be commenting on it. He should only be talking about the play on the field. And that was horrible TV last night. And I watch ESPN only for Mel. There's 2 people on ESPN that are worth watching for in their NFL coverage. It's Mel Kiper Jr. and Dan Orlovsky. Everyone else is shit. It's a terrible network that hires some of the worst people, and then they fire the good ones. It's a terrible organization. It's complete shit. Run by Disney, which is a disaster right now. Just look at the Snow White remake. Oh my God. So, getting back to Sanders, he is going to be a distraction if you draft him. No matter who your quarterback is, people are going to want Shedeur Sanders to play. I saw someone suggest online, Deion should call up Jerry Jones, ask for a favor. Okay, well, Dak Prescott struggles in a game. You think that's not going to be a distraction? You think the fans aren't going to want Shedeur to play instead of Dak? They just paid Dak $60 million a year. He's the quarterback. So that is a terrible fit. Raiders just traded for Geno Smith. Raiders are having an incredible draft, by the way. They're my favorite draft so far. But if Geno Smith struggles, same thing. They're going to want Shedeur. It's just going to be such a distraction. Maybe the Steelers could work, but only if they don't sign Aaron Rodgers. But if the Steelers really wanted to do that, they would have used that 3rd-round pick on him. But they took Caleb Johnson, running back, Iowa. So they took a running back, a very good running back, by the way. But they took a running back instead of Shedeur Sanders. So they're not interested. And New Orleans drafted a quarterback, Tyler Shuck from Louisville. The Giants trade up for Jackson Dart. So those teams are out. The Jets, they're not taking him. Oh, God, what a disaster that would be in New York. No, they're going to roll with Justin Fields. So you're running out of teams. And a lot of teams already have their backup quarterback in place. So it's just a mess. I wish he'd already been drafted. I didn't want to make this video, but I just had to because people were asking me what's going on. Deion Jeremiah's after the draft saying he's getting texts from his dad asking what's going on. I'm getting texts from my friends. What's going on? So I needed to make this video. So let's share this video with anyone who loves football, who wants to know what's going on with Shedeur. I hope this helps. Comment down below. Do you want your team to use a day 3 pick on Sanders? Like this video. Likes help so much. Make sure you're subscribed and turn the bell. And check these videos if you have not. Once again, I'm going to do a recap of each division throughout the week, breaking down all the picks. So look out for those. And look for my day 4 preview video right after this one.